Ooh, rewarded. I'm not sure how. What? Is that a double tink? There's no shot you're... The fuck is this? Oh, shit. What is going on, YouTube? I wanted to share with you guys a strategy that was incredibly meta last patch. And for some reason, I just feel like no one has really been talking about it or doing. Maybe it's because Abyss mapping is just so much better now, but I can't imagine that's the case just because of, you know, like all the tower shenanigans you have to do. But I just feels like this is something that has kind of been swept under the rug or just not been shown enough love for how disturbingly profitable and easy it is to run. And that is going to be Twisted Domains, or formerly known as Breach Stones. But essentially what it is just buying Breach Splinters, putting them in the Realm Gate, and then running the tier 3, which is the max level of the Twisted Domain. The way it works is the Twisted Domain, you just run through it, kill all these Breach mobs. At the end, it drops all the loot in one pile of the mobs that you killed. And then you fight Xesht, which is the boss, and he has his own loot pool as well. But to be honest, most of the drops that he has are kind of mid. You're only hoping for like currency drops, tier 0 uniques, or some tiered rares as well. What is the actual entrance to get in? When I was doing this last night, it was only 1 exalt for 12 Breach Splinters, which means it was like 13 exalt per entire run. It's the cheapest entrance to any boss in the game. And not only that, the gear requirements that you need are incredibly low. So if you look at my gear here, I have this 1.5 div bow that I crafted myself. I have a guide on how to do this on YouTube. It's incredibly cheap to do. My gear is not that good at all. I have this bow that I bought for like half a div. I have this armor that I bought for like 1 or 2 div. Nothing else costs more than a div on my gear. My tooltip, lightning arrow DPS, is 48k. I was able to clear the breaches no problem. I died to Xesht a few times, but a lot of that was just like skill diff or like getting knocked off the Roa. If you lock in, you probably won't die at all. But the good news is that even if you can't kill Xesht, 90% of the loot comes from killing the mobs on the way to Xesht. I will say there's one important thing though, is that if you look here, I have 111% item rarity. I think this part is actually important because a lot of what you're getting your loot from is going to be like tiered rares, and item rarity affects that. And also you're gonna be making a decent amount of currency, like 4 or 5 div off of currency drops. So having more rarity here definitely is valuable. Rarity doesn't affect the boss drop loot, like the chances of getting better uniques, but it does affect the tiered rares, the currency drops that you're going to be getting. And that is going to be the bulk, the lion's share of our loot. I'm not sure if rarity actually affects the catalysts, but the catalyst is going to be like half, maybe a third of the potential profit that we're going to be getting. So if it does, even more reason to get the rarity. If not, maybe it's less important. But what does the loot actually look like? So we actually made a lot of our money off of dropping our tiered rares and then crafting on them just a little bit. I don't think we spent more than even like 2 div on all of the crafts that we did. But I figured you might be interested to see like what the thought process was for which items that we decided to craft on and how we actually went about crafting them. So I'm going to show you a few clips of just like the biggest ticket items that we ended up crafting and selling for sure. Spell damage, something like this. Okay, we got a bunch of shit. It's fine. We're going to want a rib. And then we're going to want to put on spell skills, right? Perfect Essence of Sorcery. 4x each, that's totally acceptable. Just not cast speed. Okay, we preserve the cast speed. Okay, this is actually looking pretty good. Reveal. Spell skills have 18% increased area of effect. That can't be bad, right? So we can probably get at least 100x for this. 1 div here. This is definitely worth crafting on. So this is probably going to be perfect regal with homogenizing this shit. This has the potential to go absolutely sicko, right? We get tier 1 IAS. I think you might be right. Fuck. Alright, it's fucking cooked, no? Then we just double slam. Oh, we hit flat. Flat lightning, in fact. We also hit dex. It's still worth like a few div, no? So these boots are... Oh my god, these are actually not bad at all. YOLO a rib on this. Pray for some flat EV. Owl greater exalt slam suffix here. Oh my god, we hit tier 2 cold. Okay, so we desecrate now for sure. Let's just do it. Oh my god, we hit tier 1 fire res. Holy fuck. Alright, these boots are insane now, I think. Evasion rating is exactly what we wanted. What tier is that? Did we just luck or dog double tier 1 on our on our non-echoed unveils? So these ones are around 200 ES with 116 all res. Oh, sorry, I didn't include the movement speed on here. Yeah, these boots are worth like 10 div, maybe 8. Let's just do 8. We're not greedy. It's because we have triple perfect prefixes that these are even close to being good. Without sockets, these are worth like 5 div. Maybe we can sell for 4. 4 diver.
Is that a good price?
All right. You don't quality these, I'm pretty sure. 3, 2, 1, YOLO. What? Maximum frenzy charges? Are we just getting all the good ones? I think we actually only got good ones. I don't think pen is worth anything. No, it's not worth anything. This one, though, could actually be worth a lot. Huh? Oh, do you need to go like 6.5? 1 div. That's it. Back in my day, it's fine. That one's actually worth 1 div. Is frenzy charges worth anything? No. I think we dropped around like 200 tiered breach rings. I'm not sure if we got unlucky or what, but we actually didn't really turn much of a profit. We probably made like 1 or 2 div after all of the expenses of crafting on them. That was actually kind of a bummer because last league you probably make like 10, 20 div doing the rings, but because of like the, I guess like the power creep in terms of crafting, these rings were a lot less valuable. And also I think we did get pretty unlucky on them. Take that how you will. It's definitely worth IDing them and taking a look if you can get lucky, because like triple flats, double flat with like double rarity, like that kind of stuff, if the suffixes are good, are definitely worth quite a bit of money still. We made like 5 div raw currency here. Let's assume that everything sells for half of what we price it at. Let's call this 1 div. We'll call this 1 div. We'll call this half a div. This probably is half a div too. So 1, 2, 3. These boots are actually sick. But let's call these boots like 2 div. Or 3 div total. You don't get this lucky. So let's just say like 6 div and like random rares, tiered rares and uniques that we dropped. 5 div in just like random currency that we dropped. And then if we look here, we actually made a fuck ton of money off of catalysts. The 3, 4.5 plus another, let's call this 0.5. So that's 5. Another 5 div for the reavers. So that's 10 div. This is probably like 20 div worth of gear. We're valuing it as at 6 div plus 5 div raw currency. That's 9 div. Another 10 div. And catalysts, that's 19 div. And we also dropped an Natal's Embrace, which is currently worth 7 to 8 div, but we can just call this like 3 div in order to like not really be that lucky. So it's like 22 div over 50 breaches. Oh, also there's 3 div here. So including the items that we already have sold, 3 div. Total cost in splinters was 4 div, 23 div profit, 3 hours to do it in its entirety. So it's actually around 8 div an hour. But if you're curious about how much I made personally total, here's the breakdown. I made 15 div in rares, 8 div lineage gem, 10 div catalyst, 5 div currencies, 3 div in uniques, and which brings us to around like 40 div total revenue with 4 div cost. So it was like 35, 36 div total profit for myself. I think this 8 div an hour number is very fair. If you were to get absolutely reverse streamer cliented and have the worst luck possible, minimum you're going to be making 6 div an hour, and that's primarily because you're making 15 div just off currencies and catalysts. You are going to turn a profit every single breach zone just because the breaches are so cheap to do and you guarantee get currencies, chaos orbs, exalts, and the catalysts, you're getting these every single run. You're getting multiple Reaver catalysts every run, multiple Xesht catalysts every run. These are like 4 or 5 exalts each. Just impossible not to turn a profit. If the cost doubles, you will still be making like 20 div over the course of 50 breaches, which is still like 7 div an hour. It's just an incredibly consistent, easy, low budget farming method. Cannot recommend it more. It's so good for like the early levels of the game where your gear is not that good. For my 0 to mirror challenge I'm doing where I'm only farming, no profit crafting, this is exactly what I needed to kind of catapult me from like being kind of squishy ZDPS in maps to now being able to kind of get the gear upgrades that I need to be able to fully juice my maps and be able to efficiently farm at like the next level. It's a perfect stepping stone to get to that next level. A lot of times once the YouTube video is made, the profitability of them go down pretty significantly. If you want to see real time what the methods are and like what the next method I'm going to try and farm is, I stream live on Twitch and YouTube every single day. So feel free to come check me out there and follow along on my 0 to mirror journey. Anyways, that's all for today, boys. I hope you guys have had a great league start, and I hope you can pump some profit off of this breach strategy. Best of luck to you, 07.